It's the Dark County one.
Actually, 2 minutes.
No, it's just right down.
Holy cow, Chiefs in uniform.
William told me about that. I called Mike Evans.
City Council will come to order.
Whitaker.
Here.
Brown.
Here.
Ely. Here. Godwin.
Here.
Norris.
Here.
Rogers.
Here.
Schmidt.
Here.
We could get everyone to stand for the pledge. The pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, you've all received the minutes. Are there any additions or corrections? If not, they will stand approved as read. All right, move on to approval of the current financial report that was sent out. Need a motion to accept it?
I so move.
Moved by Mr. Brown, I think. Mr. Godwin to accept. Call the roll.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Ely. Yes. Godwin.
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Okay, move on. Approval of the agenda. There are nothing to add.
Move to approve the agenda as presented, sorry.
Moved by Mr. Schmidt to accept the agenda as sent. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Ely. Yes. Godwin.
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Okay. Next, we have public hearing section. Anyone that would like to come to the podium, please state your name and address. I expect all 4 of these kids to come up and speak.
That won't come across.
Right.
She's hiding.
All right, nothing on public hearing. Move on to administration reports. Honorable Mayor.
I have a couple things that I'd like to share. There are a couple of fun things that happened with me anyway, and so tell you about a little bit about it. Oops, there you go. Well, it was fun, and it wasn't just me, but it's the fire department, police department, and I'm not sure who else. Yeah, Mr. Reno, our director. We all were able to go to the middle school, we call it, and read to some of the younger kids out there. It was a great time. We really had a fun time. I had a fun time, especially with Levi over there. He was in the class that I was with, and it was a really cool day. We had a really good time. It was a funny book, wasn't it? So we read. So it was pretty neat. So we'll do that again someday. The other thing I got to go to, and I should have made some pictures, but I didn't. But I was asked every year. I'm asked by the Mud Engineering to go over and help out with career. Was it the Engineering Career Tech Program? Every year they have they build a model of maybe a bridge or a crane or that type of thing, and they and they have like certain limitations, certain weights, certain sizes, and they make it out of like pieces of balsa wood. And then they hook, this year they hooked the bucket to the end of it, made like a crane, hooked the bucket to the end of it, and then they pour sand in it, and it's all weighted, it's all measured, and they go by a percentage of how much weight, how much the crane weighed and all that kind of stuff. And it's really fun to watch. I have lots of videos and pictures on my phone, but that's hard to share. But it's a great time. I did a proclamation for Engineering Week, so that was really cool. So they have about 35 kids in their top 2 in their junior and senior classes. And there's only about 4 or 5 women, but I think about 2 years ago, they had like 15. So it was kind of cool. So I told them they need to go out and get some more women in there, but it was a fun time. So next on the list then is we have some certificates of recognition I'd like to give out. And that's the reason that the family here is here tonight. So if you would come up, if you could come in here, we'll look up in here, and I'll read a couple of these, and then you'll come up. Get some pictures, and then after we do this, they all get to go on a tour and see the fire department. And some of the guys and look at the trucks.
Looky there. Hey.
We're down the hallway, winding to get in. How you guys doing? What's your name? Which one are you? You're Kyle. Trevor? And you're Levi. Good to see you. And what's your name?
Emily.
Most outspoken one.
Thanks for coming. Good to see you. Okay, I'll read one for Julie and then one for the kids, and then we'll get this, get some pictures and move on. Okay, so this certificate of recognition, Julie Singer, for assisting the residents of our community as well as the city of Greenville Fire Department by voluntarily shoveling snow in order to expose several of the fire hydrants within the city following a recent snowstorm. As mayor, it is with great pride that I tender this certificate of recognition to Julie on behalf of the city of Greenville and the Greenville Fire Department for performing this act of kindness. We truly appreciate the time and physical effort extended by both you and your children in performing this selfless act, and applaud you for having the desire to help others. Now, each one of the kids get one, and then they all say the same thing except for your name. You need to all see. Okay. Certificate of recognition for Trevor, Emily, Levi, and Kyle. For assisting the residents of the community as well as the city of Greenville Fire Department by voluntarily shoveling snow in order to expose several of the fire hydrants within the city following a recent snowstorm. As mayor, it is with great pride that I tender the certificate of recognition to Emily on behalf of the city of Greenville and the Greenville Fire Department for performing this act of kindness. We truly appreciate the time, physical effort extended by you and your siblings in performing this selfless act, and applaud you for your desire to want to help others and keep people safe. So Julie, Emily, Kyle. Emily? There you go. Kyle. Levi. Trevor. And Julie, thank you. And which way are we going? Picture? Cheers.
Well, yeah, get in. Get in there, Mayor.
Get in there, Mayor. Yeah, gotta get you in there. Not allowed.
Hug Sparky, come on.
Perfect.
They got some other ones you can get. We'll make sure you get one.
Good job. Good job, Sparky.
Thanks, Bob.
Yeah, thanks, Sparky.
See you, Julie.
With that, Council President, I'll pass.
All right, thank you, Mayor. Safety Service Director, Ryan Delk.
Mr. President.
It's a tough act to follow tonight, but I'll try here. First thing, ACH payments for water and sewer bills. There will be a mailer in the March bill going out for anyone wanting to sign up for automatic withdrawal ACH payments. So it's only for automatic withdrawal. Fill out the paper, you put a voided check on there. We'll also take a letter from your bank. It's all explained in the mailer that goes out, and then it's probably going to be your May payment before we get that started and off the ground, but we're very close on the ACH payment, so one step closer. Our drop box, I talked to the supplier today. They originally told us 7 weeks. We're at like week 8. He said it's supposed to ship at the end of this week. So once we get it, we have to letter it up, and then we'll be mounting it out front on the traffic island to be able to take. That'll do tax and utilities. Any kind of payment you want to put in there, we can drop that off. Couple spring items, since spring seems to be in the air. Our annual leaf or limb pickup starts April 1. So this pickup runs from April to first Friday in April to the first Friday in last Friday in September. So it'll be April 1, which is Friday, and then until September 30th. All piles must be free of trash and lumber. Limbs can be no longer than 12 foot in length, no larger than 3 inches in diameter. And you'll need to call the street department and schedule that, give them your address and their numbers, 937-548-2215. They're going to do a spring leaf pickup the week of March 28th until Friday, April 1st. All those leaf piles need to be free of trash and limbs. You don't have to call. They'll just go around your normal trash day route and pick up any leftover limbs from the fall. It's a lot of trees drop late and the snow gets in the way. So if anybody has leaves, you can get them out there and they'll get those picked up. And then the week of April 11th will be the spring cleanup week that Rumpke puts on for us every year. They do a spring and a fall one. So the week of April 11th on your trash day, you can put large items, and there's a list in the press release of what can go out there and how it has to be for them to pick it up. And with that, I will pass.
Thank you, Mr. Delk. Law Director, Mike Raymond.
Thank you. Unlike Mr. Delk, I can follow Sparky, so everything seems to be going well, and with that, I'll pass.
Thank you, Mr. Raymond. City Auditor, Ms. Bowman.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. I need to notify City Council that an escrow account was set up at Greenville National Bank for insurance proceeds from a fire at 311 12th Street on 2/6/22. Those proceeds will be released to the owner once the site is brought up to code. And with that, I will pass.
Thank you. Moving on to committee reports.
Dear Council, the Personnel and Public Relations Committee met 3 separate times on January 31st, March 10th, and March 14th. We discussed the budget and what it looked like moving the Greenville Transit Management in-house after terminating the contract with MV Transportation. We met with another city's public transit director via phone to discuss why they made the switch and learned that they not only valued switching to in-house, but they were saving money as well. The Personnel and Public Relations Committee at this time believes this would likely be a good direction for the city of Greenville. However, we request that we are able to evaluate over the next 90 days to ensure that there are no significant changes. We would like to revisit it as a committee in late June or early July, and at that time, we would make our formal recommendations to council. This would allow enough time to notify MVT if we were to terminate the contract with them and avoid any penalties. Sincerely, Brian Brown, Chairman, Dolores Ely, Vice Chairman, or Chairwoman, Chris Norris, Member.
You heard the committee report.
Make a motion to accept the committee report.
Been moved by Mr. Godwin to accept the committee report. Any discussion? Will that need to be reassigned in as a committee assignment? Because it seems like it's just pushing it down the road a little bit.
Yeah, I would just set a new deadline for the formal recommendation.
Okay. Any other discussion? So you're saying don't accept it, just push it out.
You'll accept the report and then set a
Reassign, okay,
deadline.
I got you. All right. Any other discussion?
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely. Yes. Godwin.
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
All right, any other committee reports? Okay, move on to ordinances and resolutions. First, we have a ordinance for supplemental.
An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Greenville, state of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2022. The supplemental ordinance allows for appropriations in the general fund and CIP fund in the sum as follows. Equipment maintenance auditor in the amount of $1,000. These funds are needed for additional copier maintenance in 2022. CIP transfers elected auditor and treasurer in the amount of $700,595.96. These funds are needed for transfer to the CIP fund for 2022 CIP equipment purchases. Professional services park in the amount of $5,000. These funds are needed for engineering services for Yola Park restrooms. Travel and education law enforcement assistance in the amount of $8,858.04. These funds are needed for police training and were provided by the Attorney General's office. General government new equipment CIP in the amount of $190,388. Police new equipment CIP in the amount of $97,280.55. Fire new equipment CIP in the amount of $180,836. Street new equipment CIP in the amount of $1,169,875.30. And roadway enhancement CIP in the amount of $89,913. These funds are needed for 2022 CIP equipment purchases.
Move to suspend the rules, give this ordinance second, third reading by title only.
It's been moved by Mr. Rogers to suspend the rules, give this ordinance second, third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely.
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Greenville, state of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2022. An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Greenville, state of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2022.
Move to adopt.
Been moved by Mr. Brown to adopt. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely.
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes. Next on the list, we have a ordinance for a transfer.
An ordinance for the transfer of funds among the appropriations of the various funds of the city of Greenville. This ordinance authorizes transfers in the public transportation fund in the sum as follows. $12 from operating public transportation to life insurance public transportation. $1,200 from operating public transportation to PERS workers' comp city FICA public transportation. $1,800 from operating public transportation to healthcare premium public transportation. These transfers are needed to cover employment benefits for the transit custodian.
Make a motion to suspend the rules on this ordinance and read it by title only, second and third time.
It's been moved by Mr. Godwin to suspend the rules, give this ordinance second, third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely.
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
An ordinance for the transfer of funds among the appropriations of the various funds of the city of Greenville. An ordinance for the transfer of funds among the appropriations of the various funds of the city of Greenville.
Move to adopt the ordinance.
It's been moved by Mr. Rogers to adopt the ordinance. Discussion? Call the roll.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely.
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes. Okay, next we have a ordinance accepting public improvements installed by Wayne Hospital as previously agreed.
An ordinance accepting public improvements installed by Wayne Hospital as previously agreed under a development agreement. This ordinance accepts the public improvements installed by Wayne Hospital that were previously agreed upon under a development agreement.
We suspend the rules and give this ordinance its second and third reading by title only.
So moved by Mr. Whitaker to suspend the rules, give this ordinance second, and third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll?
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
An ordinance accepting public improvements installed by Wayne Hospital as previously agreed under a development agreement. An ordinance accepting public improvements installed by Wayne Hospital as previously agreed under a development agreement.
Move to adopt the ordinance.
Moved by Mr. Rogers to adopt the ordinance. Discussion?
Yes. What, for those of us that were not on council when it was previously agreed to, what are we improving, just out of curiosity?
You want to take it?
So anytime that there's a major development, they have to submit a pre-development plan. So for their addition, sidewalks, curbs, parking lot, drainage, water lines, sewer lines, asphalt, anything that had to do with the site in general. And then what this is accepting all of that work that was done in the right of way.
So it's basically, we're accepting that the work was to our standards and we're accepting it.
Correct.
Cool.
We maintain it going forward.
Okay.
The same thing that happens in like a new subdivision, when they put in, the subdivision gets developed, they put in the main water lines, the main sewer lines. Once that subdivision is done, we accept those improvements and we maintain them going forward. But a lot of times on the front end, they're responsible for putting that stuff in.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? Call the roll?
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes. Okay, next we have a resolution approving extension of a contract, extension of a contract for the waste recyclable materials disposal.
A resolution to approve extension of the contract for trash and recyclable materials removal and disposal. This resolution approves the extension of the contract with Rumpke Waste Disposal for the collection and disposal of trash and recyclable materials within the city.
Move to suspend the rules on this resolution, give it second, third reading by title only.
Been moved by Mr. Rogers to suspend the rules, give this resolution second, third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll?
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
A resolution to approve extension of the contract for trash and recyclable materials removal and disposal. A resolution to approve extension of the contract for trash and recyclable materials removal and disposal.
Move to adopt.
Moved by Mr. Whitaker to adopt. Any discussion?
Yes, a couple questions. Again, new guy, just trying to learn. I asked for a copy of the contract. I was reading through it. One of the things I saw was the hours were supposed to be 7 to 3. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Have they seeked approval to do different than that? Because I can tell you that that's an issue.
They have not. We know it's an issue and we've addressed it with them.
Okay.
And they can go and look at the GPS of their trucks and see when they're not in the right place at the right time.
Okay.
So they're allowed out in the county. I think a lot of them start at like 4 or 5 in the morning.
Right.
What they were having personnel issues with their drivers. Like, oh, I'll just finish these 5 roads and they're in the city and they were there too early.
Okay. Because I can tell you they're on Willow Drive about 6:20 or 6:30 yesterday or this morning, sir.
Yeah.
So,
That's not in the contract.
okay.
7.
And then my other question was, and this is just stuff I had heard previous, are residents allowed to, I know commercial can contract outside, correct? Are residents allowed to contract outside or what's the?
No one will
No one will, okay,
for a residential.
okay.
We're extending the contract for how long?
This is a 1-year extension. So it was originally a 2-year deal with a 1-year option. So this is the 1-year option.
And the rate of 1 year
Same.
stays the
Same
same,
cash rate.
don't go up 3%.
If they've asked for it to be extended to 3%.
I thought that was in there.
I don't think it's in the contract though.
I didn't see that, but
I'm sure they asked because of fuel prices.
I'm sure they did.
Any
I
other
respectfully declined.
Okay.
Good job.
Any other discussion? Call the roll?
Whitaker,
yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes. Okay. Let's see, next we have a resolution authorizing the safety service director to enter into a contract with Garmin Miller for Yolo Park restrooms.
A resolution authorizing the safety service director to enter into a contract with Garmin Miller for the rendering of professional services for Yolo Park restrooms. This resolution authorizes the safety service director to enter into contract with Garmin Miller for the rendering of professional services for Yolo Park restrooms in 2022.
Make a motion to suspend the rules on this resolution and read it by title only, second and third time.
It's been moved by Mr. Godwin to suspend the rules, give this resolution second, third reading by title only. Discussion. Call the roll.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Healy,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
A resolution authorizing the safety service director to enter into contract with Garmin Miller for the rendering of professional services for Yolo Park restrooms. A resolution authorizing the safety service director to enter into contract with Garmin Miller for the rendering of professional services for Yolo Park restrooms.
Move to adopt the resolution.
Moved by Mr. Rogers to adopt a resolution. Discussion.
I'm sorry. All sorts of questions. Mike, just where are they going? Like, where are they gonna be at?
The Yellow Park restroom, so the space we look at is really the green space that is, I'm trying to think of what the best way to describe it, the corner.
East of the
Splash pad.
splash pad.
Yes. So between the splash pad and the alley. Well, there's
when-
alley on both sides.
When they designed,
Alley.
Okay.
when they designed this, it's all set up for the restrooms, all the plumbing's in there, they
Okay.
just didn't have, it was a future development.
Sure. So there's like a couple panels there, like the controls for the splash pad. And then
Okay.
the electrical
Yeah,
panels, so like right there.
I was just curious. Not a huge area, so
Yeah, there's not a lot of options. there.
I was wondering.
Any other discussion? Call roll.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Healy,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes. All right, next we have a resolution authorizing the use of internet auction for disposal of personal property.
A resolution authorizing the use of internet auction pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 721.15D for disposal of personal property during calendar year 2022. This resolution authorizes the use of internet auction via govdeals.com pursuant to ORC Section 721.15D for disposal of personal property in 2022.
We suspend the rules and give this resolution its second and third reading by title only.
Moved by Mr. Whitaker to suspend the rules, give this resolution second, third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll?
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Healy,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
A resolution authorizing the use of internet auction pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 721.15D for disposal of personal property during calendar year 2022. A resolution authorizing the use of internet auction pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 721.15D for disposal of personal property during calendar year 2022.
Move to adopt the resolution.
Moved by Mr. Rogers to adopt the resolution. Discussion? Call the roll?
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Healy,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes. Okay. Next, we have a resolution approving the extension of a contract for fuel services with Harvest Land Co-op.
A resolution to approve extension of the contract for fuel services with Harvest Land Co-op. This resolution approves the extension of the contract for fuel services with Harvest Land Co-op for an additional year.
Make a motion to suspend the rules on this resolution and read it by title only, second and third time.
Been moved by Mr. Godwin to suspend the rules, read this resolution by second, third. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Healy,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
A resolution to approve extension of the contract for fuel services with Harvest Land Co-op. A resolution to approve extension of the contract for fuel services with Harvest Land Co-op.
Move to adopt the resolution.
Moved by Mr. Rogers to adopt the resolution. Discussion?
Are they still using Speedway too?
No, just Harvest Land.
Harvest Land only?
What kind of rate are we getting off of is it like a rate off the price or is it?
So it's like a bulk rate plus a certain percentage, and then we get the tax taken off, and then there's so like the state tax goes on, then we ask for that. So it depends what the day it is. Like bulk rate is basically what the fuel station purchases it for, and so we're bulk rate plus an amount
Off of that.
on top of that.
Oh, on top of that. Okay.
That's what they buy it for.
Oh,
It's not what they're selling it to the
what
consumer
you're saying.
for.
Any other discussion? Call the roll.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes. All right, that completes the ordinances and resolutions. Next, we'll move on to new business. Any new business? Old business?
Nope.
Council representing outside committees, Union Cemetery Board, I know you said there was nothing to report.
Yeah, I'll, hopefully maybe next meeting or next month I'll have something, but our last meeting got canceled.
Gotcha. All right, we move on to communications.
We received monthly reports of February from the street department and the police department.
Okay, moving on to call of council.
Whitaker,
Just want to thank the young children for their work, with their mom Joey. Just to be commended again, it's great to see kids getting involved with their community, and maybe if they see, if the public sees they got recognition for it, maybe it'll be catchy. Just be involving with some very good citizens there, and it's important that parents raise their children to know that they're to be community citizens as well. With that, I pass.
Brown,
Just echo what Jeff said, and as well as thanks to Chief for getting Sparky out and involved. Other than that, I'll pass.
Ely,
I just want to also add my thank you to those young people. It's nice to see that. And also I enjoyed seeing Sparky too. So with that, I pass.
Godwin,
Yeah, I just like to, echo what those guys said, that ladies, that, it's good to see somebody active in the community like that and go out and do, stuff with their kids and to improve the city. And also it's getting warm out, so I'm gonna get it before Leon does. Watch out for motorcycles. It's getting warm out, and I want to make a motion to excuse the absences for this month. Also,
Okay, motion to excuse absence. Any discussion on that? Call the roll.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
yes,
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers,
yes,
Schmidt.
Yes.
and with that, I'll pass.
Okay.
Norris,
Yeah, it was nice to those kids and the parents to do that. I know, sometimes they ask and it's on the media, but for them to actually go out and do it and step up is really neat. And Russ, thanks for putting that together for the kids and the tour. They'll get a kick out of it. Mayor, thank you for going into the middle school. That's always neat to be there, or at the high school for the programs out
Like the
there
people from the city doing all that. It's
Yeah.
cool.
to get really involved.
Classes, they enjoyed it.
Yep, when they see us in the schools and it works both ways. We like to see the kids, and I think they like to see us in there participating into the schools, whether it's sporting events or so forth, but reading to the kids and so forth, they get a real kick out of it. So we appreciate that. And with that, I'll pass.
Rogers,
Yes, I also would like to thank the kids for doing that, and also for being recognized for it. That's a good deed, and I think the recognition will go far. With that, I pass.
Schmidt,
Well, it's only everyone else, but thanks to the family for coming up and Chief for recognizing them and taking the extra time. That's pretty cool on your part. Yeah, so we appreciate that. And have a safe, happy St. Patty's Day. And I will pass.
President Baumgartner.
Yeah, I mean, same thing. It's, I think it's pretty cool to recognize anyone. I think we need to do more because we have a lot of good citizens in the city, whether they're fixing up a bad property or doing something right, or, a business hitting a milestone. So I think we need to do more, recognize and talk about all the good stuff that's going on. So Chief, I think that was pretty cool. Thank you, Mayor, and everyone involved. The other thing, it was funny, I was at a ball game tonight and someone come up and started talking to Ryan and I about the lights downtown, and it was just, they thought it was a great deal. So again, Ryan and whoever was involved in that, I think it was really neat, to keep those lights up a couple months after the holiday season. And with that, I pass. Take a motion.
To adjourn.
Okay, moved by Mr. Schmidt to adjourn. Call the roll.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Morris,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Listen.